Hello you lovely lot. Welcome to part 2 of my Gelli Plate video in which I printed a Collagraph made of wallpaper and fun foam. In this part of the video I am showing you how I work out the prints with colored pencil and a fine liner. I start with the blueprint, working on the sunbeams, darkening the gap between the beams with indigo colored pencil. I want them to have more contrast next to the sunball to make a stronger impression. You can see here that it was good I didn't crop the wallpaper too exactly, the beams thereby going into the outlines of the tree, making it look more out of focus and giving the overall impression of being sunstruck and windswept. The roots are a little too undefined, and my self-made stencil made it a little confusing, so I am also pronouncing the patterns with indigo to make them look like undergrowth of some sort. A few shadows here and there are just enough. And this is for Mark Yeates, whose channel keeps on inspiring me. Check him out, he is fantastic. Mark, if you see this, see the interesting effect the fun foam made when I wobbled it a bit while printing. With the highlights here I can't do much, because of the white shadow underneath, which is not natural but interesting, so I leave it at that with this piece. Now for the orange ghost print. With this piece I can practice what I noticed the other day, that you can actually erase the etching ink itself with a regular pencil eraser. Therefore I can create more sun streaks where the print didn't give me enough. I am also putting some highlights on the tree and roots. Now I know the sun doesn't shine underground, giving highlights, but in this case it does. Filling the gaps between the rays with a brown pencil to get more contrast and more attention to them. In this picture, the rays actually have shadows themselves. I want more contrast and more shades, so I use a brush pen here. I don't like to advertise, but I have to say these are the only ones I have that can stand being used over pencil, acrylics and etching paints without getting damaged. I have to be careful here. If the marks get too dark, I would have to repeat it all over the whole print. The marks that the Andy Skinner stamp made are almost not visible, so I also strengthen them here a bit with a fine liner. The white highlights I am adding here with a white pencil, I will almost erase them all at the end and stick with the erased highlights. I didn't like the white here so much. the Mono Zero eraser again, making highlights and thereby making these look like bricks. This is my favorite part. In this piece, the self-made stencil proposes a rather interesting undergrowth, which turns out to be the most beautiful part in this print, or at least that's what I think. I am also using the indigo here. It's not as strong as the black and gives a nice contrast to the overall orange. You can really see here what you can make out of a print that you thought had failed. Just add shadows and highlights, and most times you're surprised what nice shapes you get.